Okay, good to see everybody. Appreciate you guys being here. We're preparing for the Chargers. Short week. We have a short week schedule that we operate on. The guys have been focused, and they're looking ahead and ready for a big challenge against a great football team. What questions do you have?
John, historically, actually, since I think 2016, you've only lost once in a short week. What do you think? Just having guys used to preparation. What do you think? Why you feel like in short weeks that you guys pace yourself so well?
For me to sit up here and give you a reason, it wouldn't just be speculation. Yeah. I really don't know, other than we've played well. I do believe we have the right kind of guys in terms of, our guys recover, they work on it, they get to work on the game plan. We do a pretty good job of pacing the practices out, I think, and try to get the guys to the game as energetic as they can be. But beyond that, you just got to go play the game, and the players have to play well and find a way to win the game.
Along those lines, I think Lamar has also done pretty dang well on those short weeks. Is that just an adjustment for, I guess, knowing how to pace yourself in terms of the work week and what you should prioritize and what you shouldn't?
Probably. What the guys will say. We should always have short week. Why we spending so much time at this stuff, but
Wednesday walkthrough.
Right, exactly. That's what they'll say. Thanks for basically putting that in their mind. I appreciate it.
Coach, Justin Herbert had a play last week against the Browns where he kind of went to his right, threw across his body 30 yards downfield. What do you see from his arm strength and kind of what he's been doing there?
Incredible arm strength. Then you look at the analytics, and according to the analytics, he throws the second fastest football in the National Football League based on what I saw on the data. So he's got tremendous arm strength. I've never seen him throw in person yet. This will be a first for me personally. I'm looking forward to it, kinda, sorta, I guess. But he's a very talented guy.
Do you know who's number one? Or can you say number
I don't know who's number one. That's darn it. I'm sure you can find that though.
John Lamar, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Again, he said that I think 8 times now. And what I thought was so interesting, particularly this week, there wasn't really the threat of the run at that point. It was pocket passing. The growth and the evolution of him in that regard, watching it in that moment on that stage, how important and impressive was that?
It was impressive, and it was important. Once again, the big picture analysis that you ask me every week, the same question, and but it was a great performance by Lamar, by everybody, by the offensive players, by the offensive coaches, by the defensive players and coaches to get the stops when we need to get them, by the field goal block unit. I'm gonna say by the fans too, because the fans, even when we were struggling the game, the fans didn't get down on us. They didn't. They stuck with the players, and they were behind the team the whole way. So all that stuff really, it does have meaning. To what degree, you just have to guess, I guess. But now we're on to the Chargers. We got a big game coming up, and all of our focus is on that.
Past attempts the last 2 weeks, I think, for Lamar, just how important is it to the way he's maintained his efficiency with higher volume of attempts?
Well, yeah, you obviously you can throw the ball a ton of times and not complete them, or complete them for very few yards. You see that a lot. When you throw it a lot, you want it to be, as you said, high volume. I think that's a good way to say it, mainly in terms of production and completion. So that's the idea. Yeah, it's a good thing.
Coach, this team been part of some really crazy finishes on these last few games. How would you rank them in terms of wildness?
I just said that after the game. The next one's going to be the best one. That's what we came up with.
But they got, even though they're must-watch TV, they got to be kind of stressful. Got to be kind of stressful on the sidelines.
Yeah, pretty stressful. I tell you, they all are stressful. It's a stressful league. It's a tough league. It's hard to win. And everybody in this league throws everything they have into finding a way to win the game. And every team is super talented. Every team is extremely well coached. This team we're going to play is extremely well coached with great talent. Just every one of these, every one of these is like playing for the national championship. It really is. It's like the college football national championship every week. That's how you feel in the game. So, to your point, I think you're right.
John, I know it depends every week, and you're rotating and based on different packages. But what are you seeing out of the inside linebackers?
I see a lot of things. You want to grade. You want me to go through each play. What can I say? I think they can certainly play better. There's no doubt about that. I think that's what you're asking me, in a nice way, and I appreciate that. But we need more. There's no doubt about that.
Coach, on Tavon's Young reaction, I know he has some, leg injuries in the past. Maybe that's why he maybe react that way but he was pushed in the ground. Are you sending the leagues for review that play?
Yes, I think they already had it anyway, but we'll send it in. Haven't heard back anything at this point, but you know, the only thing you can control is what you do, your response. You know, in that moment, Tavon, he texted me that night, and you know, Tavon understands completely that no matter what they do to you, you know, in that situation, you know, as bad as it was, you cannot retaliate because, you know, you get the retaliation oftentimes gets penalized, and it really jeopardizes at that point. But he understands it more than anybody. I'm very confident it won't happen again with Tavon. Hopefully not with any of our other guys either.
Anything serious with Sammy Watkins? We saw he was in practice. Okay.
Yeah, Sammy's got a hamstring, so we'll just see how long it takes for him to get back.
You have a defensive line that has a lot of veteran talent bring away into Calais Campbell. How do you go about coaching them who've seen so much as opposed to some kind of a younger crew, and how do you get them to improve?
That's a good question. You know, I don't think so much you're going to get them to improve as you are just try to get them the most out of where they're at in their career. Calais Campbell knows how to play D-line. So, you know, Anthony Weaver works with Calais differently than he works with, you know, Matabike. He's working with him in terms of, you know, it's high-level stuff in terms of his own, you know, he knows Calais. He's watched hours of tape on Calais. He knows how he plays when he's at his best. So he can say, hey, you know, left-hand placement, right-hand placement, you know, knee bend, how square are you? Did you read it this way? Were there any tips? You know, it's pretty high level for those guys. Where a younger guy like Justin, it's going to be more about just fundamental technique, you know, more of the basics. So I think you definitely coach him differently.
Coach, coming into the season, there were people saying that the league was figuring out Lamar Jackson, and just Monday night he's got over 500 yards of total offense himself. I know you see him every day, but are you still being amazed at what he's able to do? And did you see him go to another level in that game?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely went to another level in that game. That level was pretty unprecedented, I would say, and it was awesome to watch. But I'm not surprised. I mean, I don't think probably none of you guys are surprised either. You know, you've been watching him, covering him, you know, so you know sometimes the national media doesn't see all that kind of stuff, just like all the fans don't. But I do believe our fans, you know, even when we get behind, our fans are, you know, pretty confident that Lamar has a chance to get us back in it. So, but the next game is the next game.
You mentioned the Chargers being well coached. What do you see from Brandon Staley, an Ohio guy, and what he's putting together out there?
Yeah, you know, he's I think obviously he's a very good coach, a lot of success in the time he's been in the league defensively. And then now they're a very well-coached team. They're very talented, very well coached. They do a good job in terms of in-game decision-making, so it's a big challenge for us.
The last one here with Jeff.
We get kids about that Cleveland. Is that short term? Can he be back after his IR stint? Or is that something?
Right, that's a short-term IR. So that's a 3-week IR at this point.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.